Hi folks, this is Jay and we're doing a review and some thoughts about this book and this Christian thinker, and it's by Michael R. Liconas on the resurrection of Jesus. And many people have not this, atheist skeptics have not this book, but it's a top academic book on the resurrection of Christ. Paul L. Mayer, one of the great scholars on historical Jesus studies, says, "No episode in the life of anyone in history is more important than the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. I warmly commend this book to all who want to know if the resurrection of Jesus really happened." So this is a top book in this area. Now, I just want to close about what I think about this book, what he's trying to say, and my lecture notes that I have on Liconas. Before I do, let's listen to Liconas talk about his book.
Dr. Mike Liconas. Welcome back to the 10 most common myths pertaining to the resurrection of Jesus. Today we're covering myth number 7, that the accounts of Jesus' resurrection were merely a legend. In other words, what really happened we may not know. Maybe Jesus died, maybe that was it and nobody heard anything, and then legends about a resurrection developed much later, and this is what we're reading about in the Gospels and in Paul's letters. The problem with this is that we have reports that go back to the original apostles. For example, in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, Paul talks about the resurrection of Jesus, that he died, was buried, rose, and appeared to others, several of whom he knew, like Peter and James. Moreover, people who knew the disciples said that Paul was teaching the correct things regarding the message of truth, the gospel. And so we know Paul was teaching what the Jerusalem apostles were teaching, that Jesus died, rose from the dead, and appeared to others. This goes back to the eyewitnesses themselves. You can accuse them of lying or hallucinating or whatever you would accuse them of, but a legend can't happen because it was the original apostles of Jesus who were making the initial proclamation that Jesus had been raised and had appeared to them. Now, if you want to know more about this, we have a DVD that we've created, and on that DVD called The Case for the Resurrection of Jesus, we do deal with a lot of naturalistic explanations, or several of the most common ones today.
So get hold of the DVD, and that's the book. And I just want to finish off and say, Liconas, in his lectures and also in the book, tackles the issue: can a historian actually know whether miracles exist? A lot of historians would say that have taken place, that a lot of have miracles taken place in history. A lot of historians would say no, that's not the case. Liconas says we can know if we get eyewitness material, and the point is if you get a couple of people, even enemies, who attest to miracles, then what do we do with that evidence? Liconas' book is really honest book. He tries his best to be fair. He sifts the evidence fairly, especially all the ancient documentary evidence. He sifts it fairly, and he's very rigorous and very fair in his understanding and analysis of whether Jesus rose from the dead. And you need to get hold of the book and read it. Alright? Okay. That's a little introduction to Liconas.